National Geographic reporting that today, December 21st, 2017, will be the worst day of the year. If you've had some other bad days this year, that's not very good news. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, a 20-year former minister with three of the largest denominations in the world, Bible college graduate, 36 years experience, over 100,000 hours in the biblical text. I want to look at this article today and ask you what you think and discuss maybe a little bit about this. I didn't even think about waking Heidi Vandenberg up at 4:13 a.m. and trying to get her to talk about this, but that's okay. I think we can have an interesting discussion nonetheless, even if we can't get Heidi on board to talk to us. So let's look at this article. And I'm being serious about it, sort of, but here's what the article says. It comes from USA Today. And it says that December 21st will be the worst day of 2017, according to astrologers. This is from the USA Today Network. Bill Ervolino from the Bergen County, New Jersey Record. And the author goes on to state that the winter solstice, and let's see if we can't make this a little bit larger for everyone to be able to read, including yours truly. Okay, so here we go. The winter solstice, also known as Yule, midwinter, the shortest day of the year, and the longest night, occurs at 11:28 a.m. Eastern Time, Thursday. That would be today. And I guess we should always also call it the worst day of the year. But this short little day with a great many names may also be the worst day of the year, according to astrologers. The reason why? Saturn. Saturn's getting blamed for a lot of things these days. But the reason why is Saturn, because astrologers tell us that the sun will appear to pass in front of the constellation Capricorn hours after Saturn does likewise. Now, according to this astrologer, this causes both of these orbs, Saturn and the sun, to line up for the first time since 1964. Strike that, since 1664. So the sun and Saturn crossing in the constellation Capricorn, lining up for the first time since 1664. This according to London astrologer Neil Spencer, who also writes for the London Observer. And you wonder if he was related to Diana Spencer for some reason. That just popped into my mind. So Sun, Saturn in Capricorn, first time since 1664. And let's go ahead and give him a little shout out with his blog, since we're using his pop up his block, so we will not. Mr. Spencer insists that starting something new today would be ill-advised and will have long-term consequences. And anything you try to do on Thursday will be more difficult than usual, will take more time, and be more frustrating. According to Neil Spencer, astrologer who writes for the London Observer. Is that the reason why President Trump won't sign the tax bill today? Well, there is also some paperwork being done. But Spencer said that the establishment, patriarchy, and big business will properly be front and center in the cosmos. Toss in holiday traffic, because it is a gridlock alert day just about everywhere, according to INRIX, a company that analyzes transportation data. And it may be a good idea just to stay home. And of course, Mercury is still in retrograde. So you add that in too. Now, the author says patience will not be a priority, especially if we're told that we have to do something by our superiors. That from the Lunar Living astrology website. We may be perceived as insubordinate. Be ready to deal with the repercussions of a rebellion. But you can take solace in the winter solstice celebration at Newgrange in County Meath, Ireland, which is being streamed live to the world from 3:30 to 4:15 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday. The entrance to the monument, which has a retaining wall made of quartz cobblestones, is aligned with the rising sun on the winter solstice. As the sun comes up between 8:30 and 9:15 a.m. in Ireland, sunlight pours through an opening in the roof and floods the chamber with light. That's very interesting. Saturn in Capricorn is a very useful placement, denoting one tough individual, but on a macro level, it doesn't promise much in the way of fruitful change. That, again, according to Neil Spencer. So Saturn in Capricorn threatens to wreck our whole day. And this is kind of what you're looking at. The Northern Hemisphere, where we live, begins winter Thursday at 11:28 a.m. Eastern Time, just a few hours from now. That's the winter solstice. This is the precise moment at which the Northern Hemisphere is tilted the farthest away from the sun. The low sun angle and the lack of daylight account for the season's cold. So, we're over, where are we? This is India. This is the UK up here. So I guess you can't see us on this map. We're back on the back side. But it's going to be 24 hours of darkness in the Arctic Circle, 13 hours of darkness in the Tropic of Cancer, a full 12 hours of darkness at the equator, Tropic of Cancer 10.5, and of course, in the Antarctic Circle, it's going to be light the entire day, no darkness at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Will December 21st be the worst day of the year because of Saturn and Sun in Capricorn? Do you think that makes it the worst day of the year? I don't know. I'm wondering what you think about it, because it's certainly something very interesting to ponder. Now, for me personally, I'm the guy that was born during Mercury retrograde. I'm the guy that thrives during Mercury retrograde. So for me, I believe, and I've asked Heidi, can you change your chart? Someone asked Ernst Wilhelm when he was on this channel, can you change your chart? And Ernst had a very good answer. He says, why change your chart? Don't try to change your chart. Just learn to live well within what's in your chart. So, and Violet Flame, I know you're late. It just says that today, having the sun and Saturn pass through Capricorn and line up in a way that hasn't happened since 1664. This astrologer from the UK promises that today, December 21st, 2017, will be the worst day of the entire year, because it's not a good alignment for us. It's the winter solstice. So what do you folks think? Let's see what is in the chat room. I got here late, says Violet Flame. I'm not afraid of tomorrow, which would really be today, says Chris Jones. And of course, he doesn't know any better. Well, in this case, ignorance could be bliss, Chris. Now, everyone says Mercury retrograde is terrible, and of course, we're in Mercury retrograde. But I myself was born in Mercury retrograde. So to me, I find power, I find success within Mercury retrograde, which is the opposite of what most people find. So there's that. And it's a good thing that we're all here getting this information. So it begs the question, when you get your astrological reading, whether you get it from Heidi, you get a card reading from me, is it fate? Are these things set in stone? Well, perhaps the events are set in proverbial stone, but how you use them, how you leverage them, and more than anything else, how you use, leverage, and alter your thoughts around these events can be the most powerful thing that you can do. So just because astrologers say that today is going to be the worst day of the year, does it have to be the worst day of the year? I say, no, it doesn't have to be. Perhaps if you didn't know that this was going to be a bad day and you were going to sign a contract today, you might want to put it off. If you were going to try to do something new, ask that girl out, ask that guy out for the very first time, you might want to put that off until Friday. Who asked anyone out on a Thursday anyway? But at the same time, if you're not going to see that person for a long time and you're looking to do something you've never done, I say just go for it, ladies and gentlemen. It's still tomorrow for Chris as he's in Hawaii. You know, that came through my mind, but I didn't say that you're in Hawaii. Violet Flame was feeling bad coming like a week ago, but she doesn't feel that anymore. Something shifted. I like that. I like that. And of course, we have the resident, the ubiquitous, the requisite flat earth person in the chat room trolling. Of course, has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about. And here they come with the flat earth trolling. So we understand that you believe in the flat earth. So please stop now, or we'll have to invite you out. How interesting is that? So let's do that. Let's take what the astrologers say. Let's listen to what the astrologers say. And Martin Webb can't take a hint, so we'll see how he does after a little timing out. And let's use the knowledge that's given to us. Should I just start by deleting those guys, Jeff? Yeah, you've been a moderator for hours. You're slacking. But yes, let's take the information, let's process the information. And, you know, like me, if I was going to drive up to Coral Castle, or not Coral Castle, I already did that. If I was going to drive up to the Georgia Guidestones today, maybe I say, I'll wait until Friday. And I'm waiting for something to come in the mail anyway. So if that doesn't come by today, I will be waiting until Friday. So think about it, ponder it. Oh, you're letting astrology rule your life. No, if I had to go, I would go, but I would be extra careful. I would check all the fluid levels in my car. I would check all the pressure levels in my tires. Of course, I do that anyway, but I would make very careful. I would make very sure that I was careful. I would make very sure that I took extra time. I wouldn't be in a rush. So December 21st could be the worst day of the year if you don't take necessary cautions and realistic preparations. So take the information for what it's worth. Make your plans accordingly. Become as proactive and as careful and as cautious as you can. But don't change your life unless you really think it is going to be the worst day. And then, like Chris said, just take a nap, and we'll see you on Friday. Astrologers say December 21st is the worst day of 2017. What do you say? Well, I say be your own guru, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension. I say ask questions, question answers. I say stay fearless. And I remind you that being divine, being sovereign, being free is a process. And it might not always feel like it, but you really are right where you're supposed to be. Don't stop until you get yourself free. I salute those of you that are here seeking after truth and encourage you to continue to unindoctrinate yourself.